Tellink, you have a prepaid call from
California Island.
an inmate at the Argent Hannigan Correctional Facility, San Diego, California. This call and your telephone number will be monitored and recorded. To accept this call, say or dial 5 now. Thank you for using Global Tellink.
Hello, and thank you for accepting my call. You are listening to the California Island podcast, recorded over a state prison telephone and available to you for free at pinsideout.org. Hello, my name is Sean Khalifa.
And my name is Milton Real.
Today's episode is on adversity. Adversity in prison, that is, where one slip of a sound mind may lead to so many ways of failure. An unsound mind may drown in another man's plans for them, because you see, first my family had plans for me, but now that man's hands have plans for me, and now that man's hands have plans for me, that man's hands have plans for me. It's Sean and Milton, California Island, get ready. We share two stories of making the right decisions and staying true to self here on California Island.
My story on adversity started on the weekend in prison. My adversity hit me on the weekend. I was going to eat, and someone cut in line. And I was so hungry, my desire to eat was strong. So that day I was willing to go to the hole for this. When he got past me, I looked at him like I could read his mind. And he said, to hell with him. This black ass, I deserve it more. So for that 5 minutes, he was my enemy. I was going to hit him from behind. But I thought I could get a visit, man. This may be he didn't have no food in the cell, or he could be going to a visit too. I thought the world is not against me. So, in conclusion, your mind can give you peace of mind or not. It's all in your perspective in life. So just hold your mind right. Think positive. And stay free of these sucker-ducking. Just keep sucker-ducking. That's all I feel like, Look to God. Thank you.
You are being watched. No, not you, but maybe the government is watching you. But what I'm talking about here today is a guy living out his life on a prison yard. Sure, the guards watch you, but the watchers I'm talking about are your peers. Everything you do is scrutinized by your peers. So when you step out of line, an obvious red flag is raised. When a red flag is raised, a meeting is normally held to discuss your future and possible disciplinary action. These meetings occur normally in secret, without the person in question knowing what's being decided for him. Compassion is something I learned early in my incarceration, when a meeting was held to discuss what to do with a guy who was labeled a snitch. For a Mexican or white inmate, this means you get an instant death sentence from your peers. For the far-sighted black inmates in our pod, the decision was made to let the guy roll himself up. The reasoning was to show other races that the blacks did not follow their lead or rules and could make any independent decision as they pleased. This didn't mean the guy would get a pass from the next group of blacks who were to weigh his fate, but the OG from Compton who let him go in peace that day made an impression upon me. I could only hope that if a person came to me weighing another man's fate, that I would make a similar strong, compassionate decision. I got my answer a few years ago when an Asian decided to get drunk and say the N-word up and down a prison tier. An agent from that guy's part of Asia came to me for advice. I knew the prescribed answer was to go to the guy's cell and watch him get punched a few times. This solution reduces the chance of a riot taking place. Still, I knew this was my moment to be true to self. Leave him alone, was my advice. I could tell the guy coming to me for advice didn't want me to answer that way. He expected me to go with him for security while he beat the guy up. Knowing full well I was raising a red flag for myself, I elaborated that if the guy didn't apologize to the people he offended and wanted to keep using the N-word, then let him deal with the people he was offending by himself. You are not supposed to pass the buck for another race You're not supposed to pass the buck for another race to police your people, but that is exactly the advice I gave out. Standing up for my belief that I should not instigate violence put me in an awkward position, but I am glad for at least one time I stood up for what I believed in, even though it was an unpopular decision. Please stay blessed. California Island, Milton Harrell, Sean Khalifa, peace to the Middle East.